So here's the cool idea I had for the independent science project. I put together a week-by-week schedule for what students would be doing in lab. The goal of the lab would be to further develop students' understanding of how speakers work, how sound works, and how specific parts of the speaker impact the quality of sound produced. In the first week of lab, students would just build a basic speaker to understand the key components that go into making a speaker. In week 2, students would investigate the sound quality when adjusting the diaphragm. In week 3, students would investigate the sound quality when adjusting the strength of the magnet. In week 4, students would investigate the sound quality when adjusting the length of the coil. Week 5 is where all of the information gathered in the previous weeks comes together. Students would be attempting to optimize the speaker with the ideas gathered from the previous investigations. Week 6, students would shift objectives to attempt to make a speaker which could filter certain kinds of sound. An example of this would be very deep bass sounds, such as that are produced by a subwoofer. Those sound like this. This would take longer than the investigations did, so I put in 2 weeks during the schedule for students to better understand the concepts that go into creating a speaker that produces a different quality of sound. Week 8 and 9 would go into a more engineering application of the things learned in the previous weeks of the lab. Students would try to engineer a speaker that's attachable to the modern smartphone and could produce deeper sounds such as that found in the subwoofer. With the ideas found in all of the labs, this would be a cool conglomeration of all of these understandings. One benefit to this lab is that it doesn't require a whole lot of money from the budget that we were allowed. A lot of the things we can find in the physics department already, and things that we want to get like stronger magnets are not particularly expensive. I think it would be really interesting to take a look at some of the designs students would come up with when they're attaching them to their phones. This science project provides a lot to research without having too much for students to cover without understanding all of the pieces.